Welcome to a transformative journey where ancient wisdom meets modern life. In today's video, we're diving deep into the art of killing your negative thinking, drawing on the powerful insights of Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy. If you've ever battled with that persistent inner critic or felt weighed down by self-doubt, you're in the right place. We'll explore practical strategies to challenge those negative thoughts and reshape your mindset into one of strength, resilience, and clarity. Get ready to learn how to turn your inner dialogue into your greatest ally and start living a life defined by purpose and empowerment. Negative thinking is more than a fleeting bad mood or a simple case of pessimism. It is a deeply ingrained habit that can govern every aspect of our lives. It might start as a whisper, a subtle note of self-doubt, but soon grows into a loud chorus that undermines our confidence and limits our potential. Many of us are familiar with the scenario. You set an ambitious goal, but before you even begin, a part of you whispers, "You're not capable," or "You'll only end up failing." This mindset is not a reflection of objective reality. It is a distortion, a product of centuries-old human tendencies to focus on perceived shortcomings. As Marcus Aurelius, the renowned Stoic emperor, reminds us in his Meditations, our inner world is crafted not by external events, but by the interpretations we attach to those events. When we let negative thinking dominate, we essentially allow our minds to become the very anchors that keep us from sailing towards our dreams. Instead of seizing opportunities and embracing challenges, we end up in a perpetual state of what-ifs and I can'ts, which ultimately creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of stagnation and despair. To truly overcome negative thinking, it is crucial to understand its origins. Negative thought patterns often take root in our early life experiences. Consider the child who is repeatedly told, "You're not smart enough," or the student who internalizes the notion that perfection is the only acceptable standard. These early messages can embed themselves deep within our subconscious, influencing how we perceive every challenge later in life. Philosophers like Epictetus and modern thinkers like Carl Jung have both highlighted that it is not the events themselves, but our interpretations of these events that dictate our emotional state. Jung, in particular, argued that much of our negative thinking springs from the unconscious, a vast reservoir of unexamined beliefs, biases, and unresolved emotions. Until we bring these hidden influences into the light, they continue to shape our lives without us even realizing it. For instance, think about a time when a seemingly minor criticism spiraled into a prolonged period of self-doubt. Perhaps a casual remark from a colleague or a fleeting comment on social media was enough to make you question your abilities. Such experiences are not isolated incidents. They are echoes of the larger, often unrecognized narratives that we've internalized over the years. The Stoics believed that while we cannot always control the events that occur around us, we can control our reactions and the interpretations we form. This is a powerful insight. By mastering our inner dialogue, we can fundamentally reshape our reality. Here are some key Stoic strategies to help you overcome negative thinking. Examine and challenge your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius advised himself to scrutinize every negative thought. Ask yourself, is this thought truly based on fact, or is it an irrational exaggeration? By questioning the validity of these internal narratives, you begin to loosen their grip on your mind. Visualize the worst-case scenario. Although it might seem counterintuitive, Stoicism recommends the premeditation of evils, imagining the worst possible outcome in detail. This practice does not invite despair, but rather desensitizes you to fear. Once you've visualized the worst, you often find that you can cope with it, and the emotional sting is dulled. Shift your focus to virtues. Instead of letting negative thoughts dictate your self-worth, anchor your mind in Stoic virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Remind yourself that your true value lies in your actions and your commitment to these principles, not in fleeting external validations. Transform your environment. Our surroundings and the people we interact with can reinforce negative thinking or uplift our spirits. Choose to surround yourself with positive influences, books, art, communities, and conversations that inspire growth rather than instill doubt. Practice daily reflection. Regular journaling or meditation can be a powerful tool to gain clarity. By reflecting on your thoughts each day, you can identify patterns of negativity and consciously choose to replace them with constructive, positive affirmations. To bring these abstract ideas to life, let me share a few stories that illustrate how these principles can be applied in everyday situations. I once found myself paralyzed by self-doubt just before launching a new project at work. Despite having spent months meticulously planning every detail, a nagging inner voice kept insisting, "You're not ready, you'll fail." This negative thinking wasn't based on reality. It was a relic of past experiences where I had encountered criticism. Remembering the Stoic teachings, I decided to confront these thoughts head-on. I began by writing down each negative thought and questioning its validity. I asked myself, what evidence do I have that this thought is true? More often than not, I discovered that the thought was an unfounded exaggeration. Over time, as I persisted with this practice, I noticed a remarkable shift in my mindset. My confidence grew, and I was able to move forward with clarity and determination. This experience taught me that when you actively challenge your negative self-talk, you reclaim your power and open yourself up to new possibilities. Consider the story of Alex, a budding entrepreneur who had a groundbreaking idea for a tech startup. In the early days, Alex was overwhelmed by an internal monologue that questioned his competence and feared inevitable failure. Friends and family, though well-meaning, sometimes unwittingly reinforced these doubts with their own skeptical remarks. Rather than succumbing to this negativity, Alex embraced a Stoic strategy. He began to view his setbacks as opportunities for growth, rather than as definitive failures. Every time a minor obstacle arose, he would pause, reflect, and remind himself of the Stoic principle that you have power over your mind, not outside events. By gradually replacing fear with rational assessment, Alex not only built a successful business, but also developed an inner resilience that carried him through future challenges. I also remember a colleague, Lisa, who was constantly overwhelmed by negative news and social media chatter. The relentless barrage of pessimistic headlines and cynical comments had a profound effect on her mood and self-esteem. Recognizing this, Lisa made a deliberate choice. She began curating her digital environment. She followed accounts that promoted uplifting content, engaged with communities focused on personal growth, and even rearranged her living space to create a calmer, more inspiring atmosphere. Over time, Lisa found that her negative thoughts became less frequent, and she developed a stronger sense of inner peace. This practical example highlights how transforming your environment can have a transformative effect on your mindset. Another illustrative story comes from a friend who once shared that every time he faced a setback, whether it was a project that didn't go as planned or a personal goal that fell short, he would initially feel crushed by the weight of negative thoughts. Instead of dwelling in self-pity, He began to adopt the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. By mentally preparing for the possibility of failure, he was able to confront his fears head-on. When failure did occur, rather than spiraling into despair, he saw it as a valuable lesson and an opportunity to improve. His journey exemplifies the idea that negative thinking can be tamed and transformed into a catalyst for growth. At the heart of our discussion lies the recognition that our thoughts are not fixed. They are malleable, and we have the power to change them. The Stoics taught that our emotional responses are determined by our judgments about events rather than the events themselves. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This notion is echoed in modern psychology as well. Carl Jung believed that unless we bring our unconscious beliefs into our conscious awareness, they will continue to shape our destiny, often in ways that are counterproductive. By integrating these perspectives, we see that transforming negative thinking requires a two-pronged approach: introspection and action. First, we must delve deep into our internal narratives, unearthing the hidden beliefs and past experiences that fuel our negativity. Then, armed with this awareness, we can challenge and reconstruct these narratives. It's a continuous process of reflection, reassessment, and deliberate action, one that demands both courage and discipline. One of the most empowering aspects of this approach is that it shifts the focus from external validation to inner mastery. When you choose to scrutinize your thoughts and replace them with reasoned, constructive alternatives, you begin to build an inner citadel, a fortress of resilience that no external circumstance can easily breach. This mindset is not about denying reality or pretending that negative experiences don't exist. Rather, it is about reinterpreting those experiences in a way that aligns with your higher values and aspirations. Knowing the theory behind overcoming negative thinking is one thing, but putting it into practice is where the true transformation happens. Here are some practical steps you can take today to start shifting your internal dialogue. Daily reflection and journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts. Identify recurring negative patterns and challenge them. Ask yourself whether these thoughts are based on factual evidence or if they're distorted by past experiences and unfounded fears. Mindful meditation. Engage in meditation or mindfulness practices that help you observe your thoughts without judgment. This practice creates a mental space where you can examine your internal dialogue objectively and let go of unhelpful negativity. Positive affirmations. Replace destructive self-talk with positive affirmations. Instead of letting the thought, "I'm not good enough," dominate your mind, consciously affirm statements like "I have the strength to overcome challenges," or "I am capable and resilient." Premeditation of evils. Try the Stoic practice of visualizing the worst-case scenario in a calm and rational way. This isn't about wallowing in fear, but about diminishing the power of the unknown. By acknowledging your fears in a controlled manner, you reduce their ability to overwhelm you. Cultivate a positive environment. Surround yourself with people, books, art, and media that inspire and uplift you. Just as a garden flourishes in nourishing soil, your mind thrives when it's fed with positivity and constructive influences. Set realistic goals. Break your ambitions into manageable steps. Celebrate small victories and use setbacks as learning opportunities rather than as confirmation of your inadequacies. Every step forward is proof of your capacity to grow. Words carry immense power. They shape our perceptions and ultimately our reality. The Stoics were very aware of this, insisting on the importance of aligning our internal dialogue with virtues that foster resilience and self-worth. Epictetus advised that we first learn the meaning of what we say and then speak with purpose and clarity. In our modern world, this principle is more relevant than ever. Consider how the words we use to address ourselves can either reinforce our negative beliefs or empower us to overcome them. For example, if you constantly refer to yourself in diminishing terms or use language that underscores failure, you're essentially writing your own script of defeat. On the contrary, when you choose words that affirm your strengths and acknowledge your capacity to grow, you begin to transform that inner narrative. I remember a time when I was struggling with a particularly challenging project. Every time I thought of the difficulties ahead, I'd catch myself saying, "This is too hard, I can't do it." Over time, I replaced that phrase with, "This is a challenge I can learn from." The change was subtle but profound. By shifting my language, I found that my confidence grew, and the challenge became not a barrier, but a stepping stone toward greater resilience. This simple yet powerful practice of mindful self-talk is a cornerstone of Stoic thought, and it can be the catalyst for significant change in your life. Beyond personal transformation, the way we manage our internal dialogue can have a profound impact on the communities around us. When we choose to speak kindly both to ourselves and to others, we set a tone that encourages collective growth and mutual support. This ripple effect is evident in every relationship, every workplace, and every community. Think about a friend who consistently approaches life with optimism and resilience. Their positive energy is infectious, encouraging others to re-examine their own negative thought patterns. Similarly, by openly sharing our struggles and the strategies we use to overcome them, we contribute to a larger dialogue about mental well-being. This is the Stoic way, transforming personal challenges into opportunities for communal strength. One of my closest friends once remarked that our conversations about overcoming adversity always left him feeling empowered and motivated. He said that hearing practical examples and personal stories of triumph over self-doubt gave him the courage to face his own challenges. It's a reminder that our personal journeys are not isolated. They are part of a collective tapestry of growth, resilience, and shared wisdom. At its core, the journey to kill negative thinking is about reclaiming control over our minds. It's a process that involves uncovering the roots of our negative beliefs, challenging them with rational thought, and actively replacing them with a narrative of strength and virtue. The Stoics, along with modern psychological insights from figures like Carl Jung, show us that when we harness the power of our thoughts, we can shape our reality in profoundly positive ways. Every time you challenge a negative thought, you are asserting your power. Every moment of mindful reflection, every positive affirmation, and every deliberate choice to engage with uplifting content is a step toward building an unshakable inner fortress. This is not a one-time fix. It is a lifelong commitment to self-improvement, an ongoing process of refining your internal dialogue and aligning it with the person you aspire to be. By integrating these practices into your daily routine, you not only change your own life, but also inspire those around you to do the same. This collective shift from one of self-doubt to one of inner strength is the true legacy of Stoic philosophy in our modern world. In summary, the journey to kill negative thinking is not about denying your emotions or ignoring challenges. It's about transforming your inner narrative to one of empowerment, resilience, and wisdom. By critically examining and challenging your negative thoughts, practicing daily reflection and positive self-talk, and creating an environment that nurtures growth, you reclaim the power to shape your reality. Remember, every negative thought you confront is a step toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers teaches us that our mind is the most powerful tool we have, one that can either imprison us in doubt or liberate us with the strength of self-belief. Together, let's build a community of wisdom and strength, one thought, one action, and one story at a time. Stay curious, remain empowered, and let your inner flame shine ever brighter. Thank you for joining us on this journey to silence your inner critic and unlock your true potential. Every step you take to challenge negative thinking is a step toward a stronger, more resilient you. If you found these insights empowering, be sure to check out our next video, where we dive even deeper into practical Stoic techniques for overcoming adversity and embracing life's challenges. Click on the next video to continue your journey toward inner mastery, and let's build a community of strength and wisdom together. See you soon, and remember, your mind holds the power to change your world.